On today's video, I'm going to be installing some new frets in this neck I was working on last week. After that, I'm going to level them, polish them, and get this neck ready to rock. This video will hopefully be a bit of a redemption from my last refret video. I made some dumb mistakes in the last one, but fortunately was able to save it and come out with a good end result. I'll be using the same basic tools here, but hopefully a bit better technique will save me some stress. Okay, so last week I re-radiused this neck. It's straight and the fretboard is flat. The neck is supported on a sandbag because I do not have a fancy neck holder. I'm going to be using these guitar frets, which I got from Stumac like a decade ago. They're medium guitar fret wire. Okay, so one of the first things I'm going to do is you can see these fret slots at the end are filled with some wood filler or glue or something. I'm just going to run a fret saw through these frets and just make sure they're nice and cleaned out and open up these ends again so that we can easily drive our new frets in there. So this is a fret saw that I got from Stumac. The nice thing about this is the blade thickness is the same thickness as the tang on the fret wire, so it works well for this. So I'm just going to go over each fret and just kind of clean out the fret slots with this thing. Okay, so I got all those fret slots nicely cleaned out. So how I'm going to do this is I'm going to take a piece of fret wire and I'm going to cut it roughly to length with these nippers. Then I'll need to put a bit of a radius on it before I hammer it in. They make a special machine for this, but I don't have one. Instead, I'm going to use this little device I made in my last refret video to put the radius on the frets. How I use it is I put the fret in this little slot, and then you just hammer it around until you have a curve in it. So I'm just going to go along and do that for all the frets. So you can see that put a radius on it. It's not perfect, but it works. So now that's done. All the frets are hammered in. It's looking good. As you can see, I probably could have cut them all a little bit shorter, but well, I just didn't care to. So now what I'm going to do is go along with my little clippers here, and I'm just going to snip all the fret ends a little bit closer to the fretboard. Okay, now I'm just going to file down these jagged edges. To do that, I'm just going to use an axe file. So I just got this clamped in my vise between a couple of pieces of plywood so it doesn't get wrecked. Those edges are all filed down, and I put a little bit of a bevel on them as well. Looks like I got a little bit of overzealous on the edge of the fretboard here with the file. Yeah, hopefully I can figure something out to fix that. Sure, I will be able to. It's not a big deal. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some masking tape on the fretboard to protect it. And yeah, take it from there. Okay, so now I got my fretboard protected with some painter's tape. Now I'm going to level my frets. How I'm going to do that is I got this level here. Now, this level is flat because I've checked it with my straight edge. Now what I'm gonna do is, this is the old sandpaper I put on here from the last time I leveled frets. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue some new 220 grit sandpaper on here with some rubber cement, and yeah, gonna use that to level these down. So I got a black marker here. I'm just gonna color these frets all black so I can see where I'm sanding. Okay, so now I got my sandpaper on my level. I'm just gonna gently rub this on my fretboard, and I will see if I have any um, high spots or low spots. All right, so you can see what I'm talking about. You can see where the sandpaper has rubbed through the black marker, and you can also see some spots where the black marker is still there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna keep rubbing this with my level and sandpaper until the black marks are all gone, and then I'll know my frets are level. Okay, so now I got my frets all leveled, and yeah, so now I gotta recrown the frets. So to do that, I've got a StewMac fret crowning file. So we got two sides here. We got a medium and a large, and these are medium frets, so we'll use the medium file. So I just want to show this fret here has been leveled, and you can see how flat I made it, right? This fret here has been recrowned using the fret file, and you can see that the round shape has been restored to the fret. Well, it looks like I still need to do a little bit more of that little line in the center there. So we got all the frets recrowned with the fret recrowning file. Now I'm just gonna round the very edges of the frets with a little file. Okay, so now I got all my frets nicely filed on the edges. It's nice and smooth when I rub my fingers like this. The next thing I'm gonna do is polish these frets up with some micro mesh. So, got my micro mesh here. We're gonna start with 2400 grit. Now we're gonna step up to 3200 grit. Okay, now we're gonna go with 3600. Okay, now we're gonna go up to 4000 grit. Okay, now we're gonna go up to 6000 grit. 8000 grit. Finally, 12,000 grit. Okay, so we're all done. Now, this is definitely a step up from the last one I did, although I still think I have a ways to go before I would consider myself to be really good at this. Made a few other mistakes this time. I got into the edge of the fretboard a little bit with the file as I was rounding over the edges of the frets. So next time I got to be a bit more careful about that. We got a little bit of chip out here where I removed the old frets. You can definitely see it against the shiny polished fingerboard. I think once the fretboard gets a little bit dirty, that'll be less noticeable, but what can you do? As we go down the fretboard, you can see after I've got my technique down, tearing the frets out, it's a lot better. So yeah, overall, I'm happy with this. It's definitely a lot cooler than it was. So next week, I'm going to be test assembling this guitar. That means I'm going to be putting the neck on the body, putting on the bridge, and making sure everything lines up correctly. After that, I'm going to be making a pick guard, then prepping the body to finish, then finishing the body, wiring it, assembling it, etc. So if you found this interesting and want to see how it turns out, make sure to subscribe. The channel is still super small, So if you don't, you probably won't see the next video in your feed. So until next week, talk to you later.